Hi, this is Dr. David Tenner, and we are here at the Goldberg Clinic where we specialize in helping patients get well from chronic illness of all kinds. And today we are joined by Miss Madison Gardner. And
Hi.
Madison came to see us way back in December of 2015. Today is May 11th of 2016, so it's been about 6 months. And she came all the way to see us from Arizona. And so we've been working with her predominantly via long distance, and Madison has a very interesting story. A lot has happened to her over the course of her 23 years of life so far. So Madison, I'm going to turn it over to you, and I want you to just kind of fill in our audience here about what originally brought you in to see us, what kind of problems you had had throughout the course of most of your life growing up and into your teenage years, and also what treatments you have been receiving medically. So the floor is yours.
Yes, absolutely. Well, at 23, you could say my medical history has been a hot mess. That's what we refer to it as here. But it's absolutely true. So starting when I was young, 6, 7, 8, I was a choking child. My parents considered me to choke a lot. I did. But doctors really couldn't figure out what was wrong until high school, and I'll explain that later. But 12, 13, 14 hit, I started having a lot of energy crises. I couldn't stay awake during the day. I would sleep for hours on end, and no one really knew what was wrong. They just thought I liked to sleep. Then when I turned about 15, I had a goiter growing off of my thyroid, so a growth on my thyroid. And my dad and all of his siblings have had thyroid cancer in the past, so doctors were really concerned with that. So at 17, to make sure that I never had the chance of having thyroid cancer, I had a thyroidectomy, and then they removed.
So they took your thyroid out
Yes.
in order to prevent cancer.
Yes.
But you didn't have cancer.
But I did not. No, the tumor was benign. So regardless, they removed it. So at 17, I was left without my thyroid, and I was put on a synthetic thyroid that I have taken.
Right, yeah, levothyroxine. And then a lot had happened to you after that as well.
Yes.
See here, Madison wrote us a very nice history that I'm referring to here. In 2011, after all that issue with your thyroid, you were diagnosed with a condition called Eosinophilic Esophagitis, which is now becoming more common in the population. Talk to us a little bit about your experience with that.
Yes, so back to like choking all the time. It's a really weird sensation. It's almost like an allergic reaction of your esophagus, and food when you eat gets stuck, but you can still breathe. It's very crazy, but it's very prevalent nowadays. And doctors put me on an inhaler, Flovent, to help reduce the inflammation. To help me breathe better, to help me swallow better. I also had 3 strictures in my esophagus, causing a tough time swallowing. So my esophagus was the size of an eraser head. And so they've done some dilations and procedures to fix that. Meanwhile, they've given me antacids and steroids to help with this.
What happened after you took the steroid? Because this is interesting.
This is interesting. So this was like my big event that led me here to the Goldberg Clinic. I ended up in the hospital for a week with a yeast infection in my esophagus caused by the steroids I was taking for my eosinophilic esophagitis.
So they gave you steroids.
Yes.
And then you developed yeast infection in the esophagus, for which you were hospitalized.
Correct.
So you were hospitalized, ran up a big bill for
Yes.
a problem that was caused by the treatment they gave you before.
Exactly.
And then I saw there in your history that they gave you diflucan and nystatin to try to treat the yeast infection, which
Yes.
can create problems as well.
Yes.
So, needless to say, when Madison came in to see us, she was not in good health.
No.
She was 22 years old, had been through a heck of a lot of medical care and a lot of treatments. And during that time, no one was doing anything to get her healthy. So on top of all these diagnoses that she was given, her energy was low, her mood was unstable. I'm just listing some things she wrote down here for us. Her digestion was very poor, a lot of gas, a lot of bloating, getting nauseous after meals, acid reflux. You were having seasonal allergies as well. I think your weight was probably higher than you wanted it to be.
Yes.
You were having a tough time getting through the day.
Yes.
And so in light of Madison's history and everything she had been through, our focus was to just say, well, let's start building health, right, rather than treating disease. And at our clinic, we have people come with all kinds of chronic health problems. We don't treat anything. We say, what is going on with this person? What's causing this to happen? What's interfering in her ability to start getting well, or this person's ability to start getting well? And now let's start building health. And that's what we've been doing with Madison for the last 4 months. And so Madison, what now has changed for you?
There are endless things that have changed. It is a night and day difference. It was such a great feeling to walk in and Dr. Tenner said, you look like $1,000,000, because I feel that way as well. I can eat and not have this like hate relationship with food because I don't feel sick all the time. That bloating, gas, nausea have all almost gone away completely in just 4 months. And my energy levels are amazing. I don't have to take a nap for 3 hours in the afternoon. I can make it through the day. I get lots of sleep at night, which energizes me. And I just feel so much better. And you can see it in the tests that.
Of course, and she's also, you're off Prevacid now.
Yes, I'm off my meds.
She's
Yes.
off her meds. You also mentioned she's down 18 pounds. Her body has really unloaded a lot of excess weight that was there. Just going to mention a few other things that Madison mentioned before. We made a list of the improvements. Energy's better, she mentioned that. Your mood is more stable?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
she mentioned that as well. She's off the medications, she's off the Flovent. Her seasonal allergies have gotten better as well, so just talk a little bit about that.
My whole life, like spring came, and I could tell you exactly what day spring came because I'd wake up and my eyes would water, itch, nose, cough, everything. And this year, I wasn't even planning on it. I have 0 allergies to the season.
Madison's worked hard with us. Yeah, she's been very, very good at following instructions. She's put forth a lot of effort, which is an important part of the process as well. But now in working with Madison, we're going to start to gradually allow her now to start to take care of herself more and more. She's not going to be as dependent on us because I'm hoping that we have been good teachers to her in telling her and educating her on what she needs to do now to keep this train moving in the right direction. Would you say we've done a pretty good job with that?
Absolutely, absolutely. And they've done it in such a way that it wasn't too much to handle. And I really have made these changes and I'm going to stick with them because of the way the program was laid out.
So Madison has told us that she's about 80% of the way there, which I think is great. We still got, of course, it's been 4 months, and I think there's still room for improvement for you, but nonetheless, after just 4 months, the improvements have been fantastic. So Madison, I really appreciate you sharing your story with our audience. I think there's a lot of lessons to be learned here, and we look forward to continuing to move things in the right direction for you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.